Hello, today we're going to talk about one consciousness, the memory wipe, and the illusion of separation. So, here's my explanation. We come from one consciousness. We are fractals. Our sparks come out and we become individual fractals here of the one consciousness. Which is why so many of us feel like we don't belong here. Which is why also so many of us have this emptiness inside, this feeling of loneliness, this feeling of isolation, and this feeling like we don't belong is pretty broad across the client group that I see, and I hear it a lot in conversation, which is why I'm speaking to it. So as individual fractals, we adorn these bodysuits, these meat suits, and we have individual bodies. Our memory is wiped of having been part of the one consciousness, and we spend our lives getting programmed from 1 to 7. It's programming, it's hypnosis in theta state, and we develop programs and personas and learn how to be here from the adults around us, from the school system, from the community, from society. And we get programmed into the illusion of separation. And the reason I'm bringing this up is, for me, I'm working on this in a big way, really looking at trauma and releasing trauma and having a different perspective of it. So we come here as one consciousness to have all these individual experiences, to learn from these experiences, to grow, to evolve, and to remember who we actually are. So reinstall the memory to know that we're one consciousness having individual body experiences, and that what happens is if someone says or does something to us, we then react to it based and filtered through our trauma loops that are unhealed. And actually, the person who says or does something is the messenger. In the one consciousness, we make an agreement that as fractals, we're going to come here and we're going to help each other learn, grow, and evolve. But due to the memory wipe, and the individualization of our bodies, and then being programmed by different families, individual families, and the memory wipe, we go into that illusion of separation. And so the whole idea of the messenger is to remind us of who we are, remind us that we're here to learn, grow, and evolve, and to return to one consciousness, to return to a state of consciousness and understand that everything here is a gift in order for us to heal the trauma. And it is the hardest thing to understand because of the high level of programming from age 1 to 7. It's very difficult to understand that everyone that triggers me is my messenger to look at something inside me that's traumatized, that isn't healed. And also, those who love me and support me are also messengers of how much I am loved and how much I am part of one consciousness, how I am part of everything there is and everything that ever was. And so in this individual experience, we take on board from the messenger and we become triggered by things people say and do, and we forget that they are the messenger to show us that there's trauma inside us that needs healing, that needs to be sat with, that needs to be experienced, that needs to be looked at, that needs to be healed to come back into wholeness and into one consciousness, recognizing that the person that's saying or doing something is actually the messenger, the gift of it all. And it's so much to get the logical mind around, right? It's so much to get the logical mind around. So that's why I put it in a diagrammatic form for you. And I hope it helps. I hope it helps on the journey that you're on and helps you to see that everyone's a messenger in your life. whether they be super loving, super supportive, super kind, super considerate, or whether they're showing you things and triggering you and pushing all those buttons, they are also part of the one consciousness in an individual spark that has come in an individual fractal, in an individual body, and their memory is wiped as well. So you might possibly be triggering them as well for them to say or do what they're saying or doing. So in the memory wipe, we come into that illusion of separation. And the job of us as souls is to remember who we are, remember why we came from one consciousness, to have all these physical experiences, feel these feelings that only these bodies can feel, these sentient bodies can show us and help us feel, and also to remember that there is no separation, that we are all one consciousness. We're just having individual meat suit experiences, individual body experiences, sentient body experiences where we can feel so we can heal. I hope this has been a contribution to you. If it has, please give it a thumbs up or a love heart if you watch it later, and drop a comment in. Did it give you any perspective of things that are going on in your life now? Is this a current situation for you where you're finding that you're triggered and you're trying to work on those triggers and find out where the trauma comes from? And you're also trying to remember who you are and the power that lies within you here as consciousness. So drop a comment in, give it a thumbs up, a little love heart would be great, and let me know if this has been an eye-opener for you, or is this something you're already working on, something you're already consciously aware of, and that you're moving forward with it. So have a great day. Wishing you a beautiful day. Bec here from Bec D Transformation. Bye for now.